on their skill set, and also realize that they had skills they didn't know. I didn't know I could charm a snake, but here we are.
Now, the musical side of this film, how incredible.
Actress Rachel Zelger has caught the attention of the media and the public, but not always in a positive way. Since last year, she has emerged as one of the most controversial figures in Hollywood, accumulating a considerable number of detractors in record time. This situation is particularly notable considering that Zelger is a young actress with a limited career, and Snow White is only her 5th film, and the 3rd, where she takes on the leading role. It is important to recognize that, although some of her defenders argue that the detractors are intolerant, the reality is that Zelger has been a key factor in the controversy surrounding her. Her behavior in the public sphere has drawn comparisons to other actresses, such as Halle Bailey, who played Ariel in the live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid. Unlike Zelger, Bailey has managed to navigate the wave of criticism thanks to her positive approach and respect for the fans and the original movie. Bailey never attacked her detractors or spoke negatively about the story of Ariel, which allowed her to carry her role with dignity and grace, thus avoiding the tidal wave of hate that Zelger has faced. Several public relations experts have described the way Zelger has handled her career and public image as a true disaster. Since the promotion of Snow White, she has made comments that have gone beyond what was necessary, provoking criticism both toward her and Disney, the company behind the film. This situation has led specialists to advise Zelger to moderate her statements and initiate a process of apologies to repair her image, just as the movie approaches its release. Recently, Zelger has begun to communicate that she has always loved Snow White, a change in her narrative that seems to seek reconciliation with the public. However, this attempt to mend her image has been complicated by her insistence on addressing controversial social issues, which at times seem to divert attention from the product itself. Despite her efforts, her tendency to openly complain about aspects such as her salary and her negative perception of the industry has led her to be viewed as a problematic figure rather than an emerging actress with potential. Zelger's role in Snow White is significant not only because of its connection to one of Disney's most beloved stories, but also because the film is expected to address contemporary issues and provide a modern perspective on a classic fairy tale. However, the burden of expectation has proven overwhelming for her. Her initial approach has been described as provocative and has attracted unwanted attention, making it difficult for the movie to be effectively promoted. In an environment where public support is essential for the success of any film project, her behavior has generated a feeling of distrust and discontent among fans. Zelger's need to carefully navigate her comments and actions is even more critical in the context of today's Hollywood culture.
I don't know.
As Bob.
As Bob. Sorry to Timothée Chalamet. I know he's working on something, but I think that's where I would truly shine.
Oh, man. Will you tell us what happened?
On the other hand, it is important to note that the film industry has the responsibility to provide an environment that supports its actors, especially those who are starting their careers. Zelger, being a young actress in such a competitive and often ruthless world, could benefit from a more constructive approach from her producers and Disney's management. As Snow White prepares for its release, the film faces an uncertain future, not only due to the controversy surrounding Zelger, but also because of the rising expectations and criticisms toward adaptations of classic tales. The pressure is at its peak, and how Zelger manages her image and her relationship with the public will be crucial in determining not only her career, but also the fate of the film. In conclusion, Rachel Zelger finds herself at a crossroads where she must balance her desire to be authentic and express her opinions on social issues with the need to connect positively with the public. The decisions she makes at this critical moment will not only influence her professional future, but also set a precedent for how young actors must navigate the complex world of Hollywood. Zelger's story is a lesson on the importance of self-management and public awareness in an environment that can be both dazzling and unforgiving. Rachel Zelger has become the center of attention in Hollywood, but not always for the reasons she hopes. Her tendency to seek controversy has made her seen as a polarizing figure capable of provoking both admiration and rejection. The recent wave of criticism towards her behavior has led many to question her approach and her ability to handle fame and the expectations that come with it. One of Zelger's most notable characteristics is her constant need to be at the center of the conversation. Instead of focusing on her work and promoting her projects, she seems to resort to attention-grabbing tactics, even if that means playing the victim card. Recently, during an interview, she mentioned how she had witnessed women destroyed in the entertainment industry, insinuating that her own experience could be a reflection of a broader issue. This includes, ironically, some actresses like Gina Carano, whose careers were affected by their own controversies. Zelger doesn't stop there. After the premiere of her new play on Broadway, Romeo and Juliet, she gave an interview where she presented herself as a sort of superhero, a defender of minorities and dissenters within the entertainment world. On this occasion, she emphasized social justice and the racism that, according to her, prevails in the industry.
She used Francesca, the actress who played Juliet in the adaptation alongside Tom Holland, as an example to illustrate her point about how actors of color often do not receive the protection they deserve from their employers. What is ironic in this situation is that, despite both Tom Holland and the director of the play coming out to defend Francesca, Zelger chose to seize the opportunity to make a statement centered on herself. Her narcissism seems boundless, as she constantly places herself at the center of the narrative, even when it comes to issues that should be discussed collectively. This self-referential approach has been criticized by many, who argue that she should focus more on her work and less on her own experiences. The problems faced by actors of color in Hollywood are undeniable and have been the subject of numerous discussions in recent years. However, the way Zelger addresses it, with a tone of victimization and self-reference, may divert attention from the real injustices occurring in the industry. Instead of building bridges and fostering constructive dialogue, her discourse may be perceived as divisive and dismissive toward those who have tried to support her. Zelger's statements have led many to question whether her behavior is an attempt to divert attention from the criticisms of her acting and her role in the Snow White film, instead of focusing on her art and the film's narrative. She seems to be constantly seeking to reaffirm her position in the public conversation, which can result in a negative perception of her persona. The fact that she feels compelled to resort to victimization instead of focusing on her work and achievements is a sign of insecurity. It is a pattern that has become common in the social media culture, where artists seek validation through attention, even if that means diverting the narrative toward their own experiences. Zelger's situation also raises questions about the responsibility that artists have in public discourse. When such a visible figure speaks about social and racial issues, they have the power to influence public opinion. However, if their approach is too self-referential or narcissistic, the message can lose its strength and impact. In this context, authenticity becomes a crucial factor. Audiences seek sincerity and genuine connection, not a narrative that seems designed solely to gain sympathy. Rachel Zelger's upcoming appearance in Snow White could be a turning point in her career. The film is an adaptation of one of Disney's most beloved stories, and the pressure on her performance and public reception is enormous. If she continues on her current trajectory of seeking attention through controversies rather than focusing her energy on her art, she could face consequences that not only affect her career but also impact the perception of classic fairy tale adaptations in Hollywood. In conclusion, Rachel Zelger is at a critical moment in her career where her focus on media attention and self-victimization could have adverse effects on both her future and the perception of her work. The entertainment industry demands authenticity and a genuine connection with the public. If Zelger wishes to overcome criticism and build a solid career, it is crucial that she reevaluates her approach and seeks ways to channel her energy into her art.
Now, I open a parenthesis here. What bad choices. One is crazy to hire her, like shooting yourself in the foot, and the other is very ugly. Honestly, Francesca's appearance doesn't fit the role of Juliet. There's no way. But well, opinions aside, the article mentions that the choice of Francesca provoked such an intense reaction that a group of Black women and non-binary creators sent a letter requesting greater protection for actors from racist attacks. Rachel, of course, took the opportunity to show her support, stating that she sent Francesca a private message saying, "You're the best." And she replied and expressed her gratitude to the people who defended her at a time when everyone was criticizing her. I think the people around her failed. If you give someone a role and know how the general public reacts, you should act quickly and ensure they are protected. I have never seen such horrible things said about her. It was easy for me to tweet, "Call me my Juliet." It's truly repulsive how racism continues to thrive on social media. The actress concludes by saying that the Twitter platform, owned by Elon Musk, does not suit someone like her, and that the entertainment industry still has work to do regarding racist attacks. Now, with this, I close. What I see positively in her is that she stays true to her style even though Disney has told her to be kind and grateful to the public and to stop addressing controversial topics because it was making them lose a lot of money. She is convinced of what she says and maintains it despite everything. She is not going to shut up. So Bobber and company, you can continue with your losses. Although frankly, it seems like a deserved punishment. Anyway, that would be about it. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, it helps me a lot. Your comment wouldn't hurt, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.